Not every stranger you meet is alive. Some stories will leave you haunted forever. Welcome, horror seekers. I am Abraham Lincoln. In this channel, we explore the most terrifying and bone-chilling stories ever told. From the shadows of history to the darkest corners of the world. Join me as we dive into tales that will haunt your nights. Today, I'm going to share with you a true story that's as unsettling as it is mysterious. It was a cold evening in 2008. The sun was about to set. Black clouds covered the sky, and darkness surrounded everything. It was Mark's first day in New York. He had gotten admission to a college, but he spent the entire day running around to find a place to stay. The city was huge, and getting admission was tough, but finding a room was even harder. Bachelors often struggle to find a room. Mark was just thinking about how to spend the night when suddenly a powerful lightning struck, snapping him out of his thoughts. Usually, New York was full of people everywhere, but this was the outer part of the city. The bus stop where he was waiting was completely empty. The weather kept getting worse, and there were no signs of anyone around. Mark started feeling the presence of someone in front of him. He turned around and found a woman sitting there. Mark quietly looked at her in the rain. Then he spoke. "You shouldn't be out alone tonight. The weather is bad, and you should have called someone from your family. I don't even know if the bus will come." After Mark spoke, the woman glanced at him, but didn't respond and remained quiet. It was almost 9:30 p.m. Mark was very hungry, and it was getting harder to wait for the bus. The woman finally spoke to him, saying, "I don't think any bus will come on this route. I think you're not from New York, so are you? Where do you live?" Mark replied, "Yes, I'm actually from Ohio. I've come here to prepare for the GRE, but right now I haven't found a place to stay." The woman asked, "So, where are you going?" Mark said, "I'm staying at a hostel near the train station. I'm just looking for a room on my way back." The woman replied, "There's an empty apartment in my building. If you need it, I can help you." Mark said, "Okay, where do you live?" She answered, "My apartment is just a little further from here. I'm renting it." "Come with me, I'll show you my place." Mark hesitated. He said, "Is it safe to walk at this time of night?" She laughed and replied, "This is New York. It's never really night here. Are you scared of walking at night? It's not safe to stay at the bus stop. There's a cemetery just ahead. A lot of people have had paranormal experiences around here. Do you believe in ghosts? Have you ever felt someone's presence at night?" Mark said, "What? Is this the time for jokes?" Mark thought for a moment and then agreed to walk with her. While walking, he asked, "You live nearby, so why were you standing at the bus stop so late? It's closer for you to walk home." She responded, "I was just waiting for my friend, but I think she won't come. She's staying with her boyfriend tonight. By the way, I'm not scared of anyone. My name is Catherine." After a while, Mark and Catherine reached an old neighborhood. There was a large iron gate at the entrance, and its paint had faded. The area looked very old and deserted. Mark looked around and said, "This place looks deserted. Is this normal? Do you live here?" She said, "Yeah, not many people live here. A lot of the houses are empty. This house, number 9, is available. If you want, you can stay there tonight. I live in the apartment 2 doors down." The whole neighborhood was dark and silent, except for the occasional sound of wind. Catherine waved goodbye to Mark as he opened the door to house number 9 and entered. As soon as he turned on the lights, he saw Catherine standing in front of him. He asked, "You were going to your apartment. How did you end up here?" She said, "I think you're exhausted. I came in with you, but you didn't notice. You should get some rest here tonight. I'll see you in the morning." Mark couldn't have imagined meeting a beautiful woman like Catherine on his first day in New York. She had helped him so much. He went inside and lay down on the bed. The next morning, when he woke up, Catherine was there. She said, "I'll be gone for a couple of hours in the afternoon for college. You can visit me whenever you want. My apartment is number 12. Just remember, outsiders aren't allowed in here. The people in the building don't like disturbances, so don't knock on anyone's door." Mark said, "Okay." Every morning, Mark would find a good morning note written by Catherine on his door. They would sit together often and talk for hours, dreaming about their future. A few days later, Mark said to her, "Catherine, it's so quiet in this neighborhood. Are all the other houses empty? Sometimes I don't hear anyone. What's going on?" She answered, "Don't you like it here? Why do you miss the others? Didn't I tell you that the people who live here don't like disturbances? That's why most of them stay inside their homes." Mark responded, No, I didn't mean it like that. I'm just saying it's peaceful. You're with me, right? I was just asking." Catherine's eyes seemed to change slightly in response, and her tone became a bit harsher. Mark thought to himself, maybe she's getting possessive. She doesn't like me asking about anyone else. As time went by, Mark grew closer to Catherine. On a cold January evening, Mark was sitting on the roof of his apartment with his head on Catherine's shoulder. He said, "Catherine, you live just a couple of houses away, but I can't stand living 2 houses apart anymore. Tell me something honestly, do you love me?" She replied, "I love you so much. You can't even imagine how much I love you. I would go to any extent to have you. But think about it. If you love me, you have to go beyond your limits. Otherwise, we'll just stay friends." Mark said, "That's it. The decision is made. Why live in separate apartments? Let's live together." Catherine sat with her head on Mark's shoulder while Mark played with her long hair. Then he noticed a man standing on the roof in the distance, staring at them. Mark said, "I don't know who that man is, but whenever I sit here with you, he looks at me strangely. I don't know if he's a man or a ghost. Why is he staring at me like that? You should be careful." Catherine replied, "I don't have any problem with him. Don't worry about him. Leave him be." At Mark's request, Catherine moved into his apartment. They were very happy living together. 2 years later, after completing his studies, Mark was talking to his friend about their college days. His friend joked, "Man, you disappear every time after class. It's been 2 years now. You need to spend some time with us. We're not that bad." Mark replied, "Catherine's classes end during the day. She waits for me all day. She's worried about me being alone, so I go back to her quickly." His friend was surprised and said, "Catherine, does that mean you're married?" Mark said, "No, I'm not married. Catherine's my girlfriend. We live together." His friend said, "Oh man, I want to meet her at least." Mark agreed to take his friend to meet Catherine. When they reached the entrance to the neighborhood, Mark's friend saw that the whole place looked abandoned. The gate was covered in bushes, and his friend was looking around in surprise as they entered. He said, "You live here? Are you kidding me? This place looks like a joke." Mark replied, "No, what are you talking about? I really live here." His friend said, "As far as I know, you're the only one who lives here. This neighborhood has been empty for the past 6-7 years. You're an outsider. Are you trying to fool me?" Mark replied, "No, I'm not fooling you. Come on, I'll show you my apartment." When they stopped in front of house number 9, Mark said, "This is my place. Let's go inside." Mark's friend was shocked by the state of the apartment. It was dirty, with cobwebs everywhere. The walls were blackened and dust covered the floor. His friend said, "Are you kidding me? Look at this place. It's so bad, not even animals would want to live here. You're telling me you live here?" Mark was just as shocked. "I can't believe it. I've been living here for 2 years. It wasn't like this earlier. What happened?" Mark's friend said, "This place looks like it hasn't been lived in for years." Mark replied, "No, I'm telling you. This house was clean and well maintained. Catherine takes good care of it." His friend asked, "Where's Catherine? You said you both live here, but I don't see her." Mark said, "She's probably just out. She always packs lunch for me." Mark ran to the kitchen and found a lunchbox. "See, this is mine. I told you it's my lunchbox." When his friend opened the box, the food inside had rotted, and there were insects crawling in it. The food in the lunchbox smelled bad, and there were small insects in it. After seeing this, Mark says, "Okay, let's ask the neighbor." Mark and his friend go to all the houses one by one. but the condition of all the houses was exactly the same. All the houses were empty and there was nothing but dirt in them. Nothing could be seen inside the houses. Mark says, "How do I make you believe me? I'm not lying. This is a conspiracy against me. But I'm not a fool to get trapped like this. Wait a minute. You see that neighborhood over there? A man used to stare at me every day when Catherine and I sat together on the roof. Come with me. You'll believe me when he tells you, right?" Then they go to the man's house. Mark knocks on the door and the man comes outside. Mark says in front of him, "Hey, could you please tell my friend about me and Catherine?" The man looks at Mark from top to bottom, but doesn't say anything. Now Mark is angry. He says to the man in front of his friend, "He doesn't say anything about me because he's ashamed. He stares and stalks me and my girlfriend every day." After hearing this, the man finally speaks. "Are you mad? Till now I only had a doubt, but today I am convinced that you are crazy. This guy used to sit on the terrace of an empty flat and blabber something alone. He used to behave as if he was sitting with someone. He used to laugh and talk to himself, and then he used to look at me many times. I have to say, this guy is mad. I don't know why he would do that." After hearing this, Mark says, "Shut up, you idiot. You saw me, but didn't you see Catherine? I always went to the roof with her." His friend says to Mark, "Look, Mark, Catherine is just a weirdo. No one has seen her. You need to get a hold of yourself. Don't think about Catherine or anything else." That was just a 2-year-long dream. It wasn't simple for Mark to realize. Everything felt wild. His friend says, "Mark, the place you're telling me to go has absolutely no place worth staying. Follow me. Come to my room tonight, and in the morning, leave the city and go back home." Mark hears him sadly and agrees. In the morning, Mark leaves the city and goes back to his real home, where he lives with only his mom. After a few days at night, Mark feels someone's presence in the room. He gets up and looks out, but there's no one there. All of a sudden, he hears Catherine's voice coming from the roof. Mark runs like crazy, reaches the roof, and sees Catherine standing in front of him. Mark runs and holds her hand. He says, "You're here, Catherine. I knew it was you. Where did you go, leaving me behind? Come, I'll introduce you to everyone." Hearing Mark's words, Catherine slowly pulls her hand away and starts walking backwards. She disappears. Mark's mother heard his voice and came running to his room. She says, "What is it, son? Is everything okay?" He says, "Yes, I'm fine, Mom. You can go to sleep." His mom replies, "I clearly heard Catherine's name in your voice. I think the witch must have come to you in your dream." The next morning, his mom says to Mark, "Son, look, a beautiful girl proposal has come for you. I like her. You should meet her and see what you think." Mark says, "Okay, Mom. Whatever you think is right. I agree." Upon Mark's approval, Mark's entire family goes to the girl's house for the engagement. The girl's mom says to her daughter, "Go, my dear. Show your fiancé around the house." The girl takes Mark upstairs to show him the floor. Eventually, Mark sees a frame hanging on the wall. He is shocked. In the frame, he sees the girl standing with Catherine. He asks the girl about it. She says, "This is my sister. She went to New York for studies. She fell in love with a boy from her college, but after spending time with her, the boy ditched her and left. She waited for him so long, but when he didn't come back, she committed suicide." Mark asks, "She's dead? I mean, when did it happen?" She replies, 4 years ago, but she's still around us. I can feel my sister. We had a very deep bond." After talking to Mark, the girl notices he's not looking well. She asks, "What happened? Are you okay?" Mark replies, "Please, let's go downstairs. I don't feel good." Mark doesn't know if it's a coincidence or something else. Catherine's sister got engaged to Mark. After some time, Mark marries Catherine's sister. On their wedding day, he goes to the room and sees his wife sitting on the bed in her bridal dress. He sits with her, and eventually, he sees her eyes turn white, and she speaks to him in Catherine's voice. It feels like Catherine's soul is in her sister's body. Mark realizes that the voice isn't coming from the girl, but from Catherine. After seeing this, Mark panics. He jumps off the bed, but unfortunately, he suffers a heart attack and then he died. That's it for today. Thank you for joining me. If you enjoyed this story, please subscribe and click the bell for more. I'd love to hear your thoughts and any ghost stories you have, so leave a comment below. Until next time, stay curious and brave, because every ghost has a story to tell.